All right, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the Get It podcast for Wednesday, January 8th, 2020. Wednesday, January 8th.
I'm back.
Good evening.
Going to continue to steep
On this beat.
continue with the system.
It's heat. And I tweet under
Oh,
the sheets.
please stop. I can't take that, man. Your bad raps. You're so horrible. Yeah.
Getting it down.
Don't you make like folk music or something like that?
Folk music.
Don't you make
My
like
ass.
don't you make
Wait, just
it's hard-
because I'm from the Midwest means I make folk music.
Why are you being so assumptive? I'm asking. Don't you make? I feel like you were playing some kind of rustic beat earlier. What would you consider the music that you play? That you like to actually play?
Good music.
No. What would you call it? What genre would you call it?
What is genre these days? I don't know. Like alternative.
Well, you know what? I was thinking that's
Classic.
great. So you know what? Let's take the alternative and never ever try to rap while the music's going again, because it's like, because you know what? I love rap music. I love old school rap. I love like throwing down rhymes.
Right, drop some artists.
Some really great
No, drop some
bars.
artists.
I got some bars.
Drop some artists then, if you're so into rap.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What do you want me to drop? Like, what do I like?
Yeah, name some rappers that you like.
Tribe Called Quest. I love old school like Run DMC. I love fucking Eminem. Eminem is like, even into this day, is fucking phenomenal.
My roommate's obsessed with Eminem.
What?
My roommate's obsessed with Eminem. He's like,
dude,
I'm all about the lyricism. I'm gonna be a white boy and
no,
try to
I'm
rap.
not trying to be. Yeah, no. I mean, I also like came from a place that my old roommates, they used to freestyle, man. Like growing up, they literally used to like sit
in the
around
streets in New York.
Yeah, because
Long
like that,
Island.
like that. Yeah, talk like that. Yeah.
Long Island, right? Is where you grew
Long
up.
Island. Yeah,
That's where you grew up?
Yes, I grew up in Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island, the Guyland. It's Guiusland. Guyland. Long Island. Don't get it twisted. Speaking
How
of
do you
twisted,
feel about Bostonians?
I think they get
like New England people.
Boston.
Are they
New England? I
compared
love that term.
to
We're really part of New England,
compared
to be honest with
to
you.
New York? I think it's a different vibe, right?
It's a little bit of different sounding. It's kind of the same vibe, man. It is. It's like suburban meets urban, like.
Yeah, I spent
Well, because the
years
Manhattan,
in,
because the
in
Manhattan
Boston.
vibe is different. The city is totally different than Long Island and even Boston and the cars.
The cars.
But it doesn't.
What's his name?
It's very similar in ways to Long Island. Even
Mark
like parts of
Wahlburgers.
it wouldn't.
You know he owns that
Wahlburgers.
that burger place.
I'm actually gonna be opening a coffee shop in PA. You know that?
What?
Did I tell you?
No.
I'm opening so a little business, because we always got to throw a little business here. I'm actually opening a coffee shop in Pennsylvania.
Is that who you're talking to?
Yeah.
Just now about that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we're gonna offer a little coffee shop with some fine drinks, some fine eats.
That's good.
Because I'm just like, because I mean, it's a nice place I figured it'd be a nice place to work and visit, and then while we work, we just create some value for the neighborhood. So I try to when I do business stuff, I try to like put a revenue within a revenue. So like if something is doing something, I want something else to be helping that machine. So that's how and it's really funny too, because a lot of these stores that are out nowadays, these restaurants, is like the Baskin Robbins, KFC, or Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, or Popeyes chicken, Taco Bell, like all these like these mix up places. Well,
combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
But the thing about it is that when I first started my first business, I was inside of another business to subsidize, being able to like have to like make all the money from just what I was doing. So if you can do other things within your business, if one thing isn't or has seasonality, doesn't do as well, there's so many things going on, creating another business flow, or even if it's not its own business, but just like it's a complementary product within that area, you could make enough money just to sustain, and a little bit of something is better than a little bit of nothing. So like, for instance, even if it's not making like, let's say I'm not making thousands of dollars from it every month, the fact that it's just like cool to have a nice place to go to work, to hang out, people from the community can come have a great cup of coffee, and nice place to work, like minds can go there and hang out, and not everything has to be, in business you want everything to be profitable. That's the objective. You want it to be profitable, but it doesn't have to be mega profitable, especially if you build a system around it.
I want to welcome all the people tuning in on the various platforms. Yes, I agree though on all that. Weren't you are you still gonna start that Italian ice shop here? Because I think the market is asking for some good old Italian
rainbow
ice.
Cookies.
And rainbow cookies. And
if anybody's watching out there, if anybody watches this, if anybody's interested in the Southern California neighborhood about talking about with me, crowdsourcing is a really big thing now, like crowdsourcing business ideas and funding. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if anybody's watching this and they have the financial means to try to work with me, I'd be down to bring a partner in. But I had a potential partner a few years ago, but I just didn't really feel confident. Well, I didn't feel confident in his abilities. And what I mean by abilities is about abilities to be able to fucking do it. Like, actually, like, it was kind of wishy-washy. He really wanted to do it, but he didn't want to put the work in, and he didn't want to take risk. And, I just, at this point in my life, I just don't want to fucking deal with people who are just half-assing shit. And yeah, I just don't want to deal with people that are half-assing shit. And even though it's not like a super duper amount of work for the next like 10 years of your life, you're gonna have to dedicate like a year, 8 months to a year to really fine-tune the machine and make it become profitable. And then the thing is about business, and a lot of people understand this, is that business is process. If you could put in, obviously it's product, right? It's product and process. So if you have a decent product, and it solves a problem. So product, process, problem. Actually, I'm going to write that down because because I just thought about it because I never really presented it like that.
Problem, product, process.
Problem, product.
There we go.
And process. Yeah, so the P3, man, P3
P
is that if you can
cubed.
do that, right? And then you get that process down. So if you solve the problem with the product service, and then you get the process down, that's the idea of being able to scale a business. And you can have multiple businesses. And a lot of people think they have to be slaves to their own company, and it's not the case.
Can confirm.
It's not the case, and it's very doable. I met a guy like a few years ago who like had like 4 hair salons in different states. He lives in like what's that area on the water north? It's like northwest of Hollywood. What's that premier beach neighborhood that everybody wants to fucking be in?
Malibu?
That's it, Malibu. Yeah. Thank you.
Malibu.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it's like overrated, and you can't get into it. And it's hard to get in. It's hard to get out. Like it's beautiful, but like being able to come and go is like a disaster. Like if you want to, God knows if there's like an earthquake or something, you're gonna get thrown into the drink. You're going into the water. So, but I met a guy who...
At least inland will be safe for a little bit.
Safer, yeah, unless it's
safer
like it's The Rock from the earthquake movie. But yeah, so essentially this guy was like, he had a business, and then he was doing stuff on the internet, and then he had like 3 hair salons in like a random state somewhere. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, it's doing pretty well. And I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. How can you just have that? But it goes to show you that he put a process in place that he can essentially run the business from where he is. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you can't be a part of like the product, building the process, and ultimately solving a problem. Maybe people needed really good haircuts in that neck of the woods, but we did all our due diligence on the need there in that local area. So
speaking of solving problems, what do you think about the naked philanthropist offering to send nude photos to people who have receipts of donating to the camp or funds for an Australian bushfire relief?
The bush. Did you say the bushfire?
I'm actually hesitant about scrolling down here.
Some bush for the bush.
I feel like
what is that? What is this?
Oh wait, did you take down
this?
Tweet?
Is this Twitter? Yeah.
Wait.
If you want to,
did she take?
I think Twitter kicked. Instagram closed their account.
Anyway,
Instagram closed her account, and
basically, I don't know. I think it's. I mean, sex sells, obviously, like we talked about. I think this girl obviously has.
Well, I don't know if it sells, right? Like nobody wants to see
conscience for helping the tragedies and people.
I don't know if it's sex sells. I don't know if it's the actual sex it sells. I mean, nobody wants to watch you do a. Like nobody wants to watch certain people.
Here it is.
Do things like nobody wants to.
Okay.
It's just
so sending nudes to every person who donates at least $10 to any one of these fundraisers.
So that's the photo, but just with the it's probably just that photo with the
I've done a little research, and I think it's different. It's a variety of stuff.
Oh, is it? You think it's a?
If you just scroll down, you'll be able to see someone reposted it and ruined it for everyone.
Oh, you posted her photo?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, it goes to show you what I talked about earlier. If you put anything on the internet, you send anything via email, whatever.
So is that just being slutty, or is it a good? I mean, it's obviously. I think it's cause.
Okay. I don't know if it's being okay. First of all, I don't even like that term. I'm not a fan of the term slutty. I'm not a fan of it at all. Not even because what is that?
I'm slutty for money.
Well, everybody, yeah. I mean, that's if you think about it,
I'll do anything for money now.
Well, it's being, it's basically seeing. It's like anything else, man. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Sex itself, the art of selling sex for money, has been around for thousands of years. It's the oldest business in the world, and even though it's not, let's say, it outright 1-to-1 anymore. There's just so many variations of it, right? And not only is there variations of it, but it's not, I mean, you're always selling yourself. In business, that's what I was saying before, is you're always selling something. You're selling yourself, you're selling a product, you're selling your attitude, you're selling your thought process, you're selling your processes, you're selling just about everything all the time. I mean, even right now, we're selling, right? We're like, hey, can you watch us, please? Hey, guys, just watch us, please. Please subscribe and smash that button because we're the greatest podcast in the world and everybody loves us. Yeah.
What is that, or what are you who are you trying to be? Who are you trying to copy there?
I'm not trying to copy anybody.
Oh, I'm a YouTuber. That sounds nerdy, but yet I get millions of subscribers because people watch me play video games, and
I mean, it's really
I'm
funny.
A nerd and I drink Mountain Dew.
I mean, it's so funny too, because the thing is what does that fucking mean now? Like being a nerd. Like I was a nerd, quote unquote, a nerd back in high school because I was sitting in I would leave my class, I would go hang out in the library to go sit on the computer because it's the only computer that had a modem. And I didn't even have, back in when I used a computer back in the day, we didn't even have we didn't have like AOL or Google and shit like that. Like I actually had to connect to things called BBSs, bulletin board systems. And I had, if I wanted to dial out to like the internet, I had to do like a protocol. I actually had like a command, a line command that I had to dial to access the modem and to tell it to dial out. So that's how hardcore it was back in the day. And people would be like, "Oh, you're a nerd sitting on a computer." Ah. And I'm just like, "Yeah, I guess. I just like tech. I like the. I mean, I think, you know, again, nerds, technically nerds now. If anybody who was classified as a nerd when I was like high school age or younger, a little younger, like those people are killing it. Those people got millions of dollars, like millions. Like they're just they own like the sports industry.
Yeah, we just talked about
and
the tech bros.
And I think it's like, I don't think necessarily like nerd back then. It was just people that like they were just
now it's different.
We're pulled away into a different category, and like they're like, what is that
nerd? Is the new
where does
cool
that weird thing?
now.
But it's not even so much. I think what it is just being awkward and not being able to communicate effectively in a social atmosphere, right? That's like, or outright just making others uncomfortable. Because the thing is about like nerds, if you want to call them, they can actually make other people, because of their kind of in a way their own elitism, if that's even a word. We got this whole thing going on with words today.
Elitism.
Elitism or elitism. Elitism.
You're adding a
I'm getting all extra
there.
today. So about their elitism is that you're also almost off-putting to other people when you're just like, oh yeah, I only do things at the rate of T3 with and then like I talk about like, oh, I just got this new DSL, and then like some nerd will want to one up me and be like, oh, I had a T1 connection, like with the up down with the pipe is great and it was good. I'm just like, oh, all right, bro, like I'm just trying to share, like. It's just like every
pipe is great.
Well, because they called the connection, the T1 connection originally. They call it the pipe, like the bandwidth.
It's also a metaphor. I mean,
I know what it's for, bro.
Not a metaphor. What do you call it? It's euphemism.
Yes.
Speaking of nerds, no, I'm just kidding. Autofill123 says, "I fucking love Star Wars and that shirt."
Thank you, sir. And I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Oh.
Yeah, I was very disappointed by Rise of Skywalker. But they only had 3 movies to wrap up the characters, so I sort of
wrap it
understand
up,
how
Bucks.
they had
Yeah,
to
but
do
now you got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You could just make unlimited shit.
Did
and
you
keep
hear
it paying? Because
now
really, there's
they're talking about
reason for it.
There's news on this that says they're done with the Skywalker saga, but they're developing a prequel that's 400 years in the past of the the Skywalker
You know what's really
saga.
funny? You know what's really fucking
And
funny?
they're gonna do completely different
just make a different
trilogies.
fucking
Not even
movie.
trilogies.
Make a different
they're taking
franchise
Marvel's strategy about just continuing a property, not having a limit to how many movies can be in that group. The phase is what they call it.
Well, because this is the thing that gets me fucking pissed, okay? And this is like the Ricky Gervais had touched on this. It's like they're just making fucking sequels. They're running out of ideas. They got no shit. The thing is that everybody will argue about Star Wars, but I feel like they fucking made the other like movies when they realized like, oh, like these were so popular, and then like we haven't made anything, so now we're just gonna continue this and we're gonna add onto the storyline. We're just gonna add onto the storyline. We're just gonna add onto the storyline, and that's cool, kinda. In some ways, but I feel like it'd be really fucking cool just to make a fucking different IP. Like just make it a different.
Understand
Stop
why
trying
they
to like
do
milk
though.
it, because now it's not relative anymore.
The whole
it's a
thing
side
with Joker
story.
is they wanted to do a cool cinematic story as
kill it,
as
dude. Kill it.
As Martin Scorsese likes to use the term cinema. The Joker was supposed to be that. It was supposed to be sort of this. It could have been another movie, but it was very much that cinema term that he used, sort of like doing it on its own terms and like making a movie that wasn't necessarily superhero, but just like put the IP on it just because they know it's going to sell. People are going to go out to see it because like no one wants to see an IP that they don't recognize.
Well, that's the problem, because nobody has the fucking balls to do it anymore. Nobody has the balls to do it. And you know what? I don't
mean,
know
they do,
how much
but
abuse
they don't
you can
have the
get.
funding to do it.
Bullshit. Dude,
What are you talking about?
Bullshit. You don't have the fund. You don't think Disney has the funding to do it? You don't think George Lucas has the funding to do it?
Or they,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
small,
Not they
don't.
Not they don't have the funding, but they're not willing to bet on the return on investment.
Well, guess what? Fucking take some fucking
it.
risks, bro. Because eventually people are gonna get burnt out. Okay, maybe not now, maybe not this second, but dude, like people get burnt. They're like, oh, I'm fucking over this, man. Like, version like 21.
Old man gamer just dropped in the chat. What's up, man?
So, I mean, nobody wants this fucking same IP like 25 times over. Like nobody, even like me, like Mario. Like I love Mario, right? Mario. It's the East Coast. Mario versus Mario.
It's Mario. It's Mario.
Mario.
Who the fuck says
Mario? East Coast.
Even Mario doesn't say Mario.
Mario. Okay.
Anyways, we kind of.
But anyway, so what I'm saying is that essentially the problem here is that even me, if you like something, you start to like lose. Like, yeah, I'll pick it up. Oh, what's the new one? I don't know what the new one is because they just keep on rehashing. Like, there's like Mario Maker like 55 now, and like.
I don't know about that.
Dude, it's just like they've got so many. It's just like, okay, dude, like, can we? Because I actually liked, believe it or not, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to make this all gaming, but I liked Mario Brothers 2. A lot of people don't like that game. A lot of people actually, it's kind of like a totally different fucking game. Super Mario Brothers 2 is not even really. It wasn't a Mario game. It was a totally different game called Doki Doki Panic. Okay, that's my nerdness coming out, but it's it was fucking.
Just to finish off
awesome.
this story about the Bush for Bush.
So yes, the Bush for Bush.
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna spend $10?
I'm gonna try it.
It's gonna
try it. Ready?
It's gonna go to a non-profit organization.
I just want to see
what are they
how
gonna
quickly.
do? I would love to see that the money
she
goes.
Responds. Here we go. I'm gonna do it. Ready?
She probably has an autoresponder set up. If you email that address, you could probably take a screenshot of anything and it'll just reply with an image and attachment. So
boom, I did it. Ready?
Australia Bushfires.
I donated $10 and let's see.
Bushfires.
Take a screen cap.
Get some bush for the bushfire. She probably doesn't have a bush. I'm gonna say it's probably Schwoven clean. And mind you, I don't know what's the take out there right now. Like I remember when I was growing up, it was like people liked the Schwovenness. It went from like not having tons of hair in the 70s and just having like an actual bushfire to like having zero hair. And now it's kind of making a movement back in the opposite direction. It's like you can have hair or you cannot have hair, but you can't have too much hair. So question is, do we care about the hair down there?
Do we care about the hair down there?
Oh,
square.
Dude, don't you stop. I feel like I'm being like waterboarded every time you start breaking out to like bad rap.
Respawn like a video game character.
Undone by a programming developer.
With a nerd, dirty word. Make a game in the West, my lives insured. Get your eyes on the prize, revise the wise. Aim it for ride in the skies, revive the bride. And it takes lots of times, it will survive. And she cries, I try and try. I wrote that.
Yeah, you just did that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote that like a year ago. Did you?
Anyway, all right, I'm sending this to her.
So you're gonna get it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get the exact same photo that everybody got already. You know.
I mean,
and you know what's really amazing to me? I can't believe
she made me do a good thing. So I donated, and I hope people do the same.
Nothing like capitalism and horniness.
Because
capitalist. This is
how you know you're
in a whole new brave world, my friends. You could take a shot of something sexy and get money. Ooh. It's like porn styles, rock steady porn styles. That's why porn will never die, but it doesn't make the same amount of money it used to because it's so easily shared. That's good. Probably is just what's the horny factor dropped off and nobody was able to see. She should have broken it into a set of 3 to 5, so that way it'd be like, you don't have this limited edition one. Maybe she'll come out next week with a new version. Be like, Bush return to the bush.
Wait, what did you?
Return to the bush. And she like, okay, this week I got hair, and then maybe she'll get like a little tattoo and like see this, we're gonna keep the fires at bay. It'll just be another reason to slap another $5 to $10. Is $10 the minimum? Is that the minimum? You could
probably
donate.
I mean, I'm sure you could donate anything. $1.
Yeah,
2 cents.
How about
little,
like enough for a cup
her
of
name is
coffee?
Little Earthen Elk? What is it?
Supposedly.
Look.
What do you mean? No,
what's her?
That's not her like real name, bro.
No. I mean, what is this handle like?
Little Earth Angel K. Little Earth
Angel K. Okay.
What did you say? Elk?
Like I thought it was Earthen Gelk.
Little Arthen Gelk. What is this like?
Earthen Gelk.
What
is Lord of the Rings?
Little Earth Angel, bro. K.
The K kind of throws me off.
K stands for, I guess, her real name,
Angel
or maybe
K.
her like
Little
fake name or whatever name. But I will say that she's I'm not really like, when I was younger I was really into like blondes. I'm not super into blondes anymore. I'm more a brunette guy now. But she is pretty. I didn't even believe I was like kind of blown away that she's like 20. She's not even old enough to drink. Can you believe that? She's not even old enough to. She's already very enterprise oriented, and she's not even old enough to have a beer. How crazy is that, man?
I'm trying to DM her.
She doesn't want to talk to you. You can't DM her. What do you mean DM her? Do you think she's just like sitting by the computer waiting for you to respond?
Wait, no. How do you DM on Twitter? I haven't done it in a while.
It's just like you hit the name. You gotta. I think you can't. I don't know if you can DM without following. I think you have to follow, and then you had.
Oh, you had to follow it first.
You have to follow and then click on name and then DM. You can't be just getting hit up by like thousands of people for no reason. And that's a good stuff to build a portable. I mean, I'll give her props if you're donating directly to the cause through the link, as opposed to her aggregating the money and being like, "Hey, donate through my link."
Right.
And like she's coming through, and like not only did she like get popular
like,
off
how
a
much
bad
did
thing,
you donate?
you
Girl,
know, like
how much did you donate?
And you'd be surprised. A lot of these.
Maybe she didn't donate, and she's just trying to do her little.
Well, I mean, even if it got her enough notoriety to be like,
yeah,
oh
it's
shit,
just notoriety.
I mean,
At
do you see it as negatively?
If you're gonna get notoriety, then well, I guess why not do it this way?
You know, I mean, dude, she's that's like the ultimate Kickstarter right there. I mean, there's people on Kickstarter can barely raise like $1,000, and this chick raised over $500,000. You know, because on the pretense that she wants to save koalas, and I want to save koalas, and I want to save the kangaroos because they very they're great boxing opponents. You ever see a kangaroo box?
Damn. Can't be messaged.
Yeah, dude, she's probably gotten overloaded, man. She can't. Yeah, she probably turned it off.
Well, you know what? She got me to donate, so.
Well, you email her. Wait, how do you get the pic? You have to DM her or you have to email her?
She said DM me.
Oh, dude, you just got foiled.
You know what? I'm cool with that.
You just got.
I'm cool.
Now you're gonna have to like pirate it and kind of like a ROM. You're gonna have to like back it up and say you have the rights because you made the payment.
I mean, she already had. I mean, all the replies to this comment are of her naked, so I think we all win.
I just can't believe she's 20. I still can't believe she's only 20 years old, man. She looks like she's about 26, 25, 20. I think it was probably the lip injections or something, you know?
Oh, shit.
All right, man. Can you stop getting...
Anyways.
Can you stop having the blood flow come over? Can roll it back this way?
All right. I'll keep everyone updated on that, on if I get the picks or not.
Yeah. So follow our channel. We'll get the pics. We'll definitely get the
donated.
pics. Follow us, subscribe.
I donated to help the relief
and we
for
will,
the Australian fires, and you should too.
And we will post it. We will post
for nude photos or not. It's good to give back as little as you want. Every dollar counts. I
every
sound
dollar
like an ad
counts.
right now. But
I know. What are you? Is this a PSA? I give. You know what I do to give back? I buy the tamales from the lady at the grocery store who's selling them in the parking lot because they're fucking delicious. She's busting her ass out there, hustling, and they're better than what's in the store. I give him back. I'm not trying to hustle her. I'm not trying to get coupons. I'm not trying to eat trash. I'm eating her tamales because her tamales are on point. So,
we have
next on the list,
the price of living.
Price of living. So, did you get the price of living? It's very expensive. It's going up, friends. If you haven't noticed, the price of living is, well, for people on the West Coast, especially in California, and especially North Coast, people are getting. This is some new stuff here. Hundreds of residents in San Jose receive eviction warnings. So these people bought these properties or like whatever. They rented these properties for years and they built this stuff and thinking they were going to live there in the low-cost housing. And they're just getting kicked out. So you got 700 people that have received eviction notices because they're probably just going to mow down that property, kick people out, and yeah, they're going to build probably more expensive, luxurious living facilities. And that, my friends, is what's going to happen in a lot of different places. And I've seen the cost of a lot of things over the last, literally. So, we can turn this back to Amazon a little bit. I've seen the cost of fees on Amazon raise. I've seen the cost of... Dude, I've seen it. The turn of the year, it's crazy because like with every new year, everybody's just like, oh yeah, I want to do whatever. You better find a reason to make some more solutions to make some more loot for every new year that gets turned. Because no joke, everything goes up in price every single year, even if it's incremental. Like my butter went up in price from Trader Joe's. Like I noticed it. Like most people probably wouldn't notice it, but I'm all like really detailed like this. But it went up 20 cents. 20 cents. Now, multiply 20 cents about how much butter. I eat a lot of butter, by the way. I'm not going to lie. But I eat a lot of butter. I probably butter my toast once a day. I love toast. Love sourdough toast.
I don't do dairy.
You don't do dairy at all? Not one bit?
Nope.
You sure? You're like, exactly. Exactly. So the price of living is going up. I can't stress enough, man. And when people are like, "Oh, this is unfair," I'm unfair, but there's people going to roll in there. There's people going to roll in there, and there's people who are going to be able to afford it, or naturally not afford it. They're gonna pull themselves apart, and they're gonna stress to live there, and they're gonna work. They're gonna push everybody out, and everybody who wants to jump on the hustle bandwagon,
Mamadissimo.
Is gonna make.
Someone said you are Mamadissimo.
I'm a what?
A Mamadissimo.
Mamadissimo. What is that?
Like Spanish for? Yeah, Mamadissimo.
No, I don't know what that is. Wait. Maybe it is.
Mamadissimo. It's very inebriated. We're all inebriated, bro. Thank you for turning.
See, look at. Yeah, dude. Like
I was drunk. I was drunk to make that donation, just expecting nudes. I guess maybe.
I told you that's like it's like everybody looks at that. They're like, "Oh, is he high? Am I high,
dude?
High in the sky, bro."
I sound high all the time, and
I just
sometimes it works in my advantage.
I just look like sometimes I'm high because I'm either like
high
tired or just a little bit.
JJ Pond says, "Wait, this looks too good for a one viewer stream." I agree. Tell your friends, JJ. Bring them on over. There's some good quality content. We debate the important issues of
the shit show of the day in and day out shit show that exists. And believe you me, this is a crazy shit show. So if you're tuning in for the first time, just go to youtube.com/my name, David Scarpetta, and then there'll be a video there that we just streamed in its entirety.
Well,
and then
I
you
think
can
they should
subscribe
go to
on the
Get It
link.
Podcast.
I think you should, but are we still having problems getting indexed? Like, is it like, I think
no, we're gonna be putting the clips up there, and we're gonna be all over everywhere.
Let me just double check because this is from my experience. My experience is that when you type it in, it doesn't come up right away. So it comes up. I'm coming up right now. Look, it comes up DOS reviews because we were streaming out to all our accounts. But the actual account, the Get It Podcast account, it doesn't come up right away. But I guess if you just type in Get It Podcast and just subscribe to one of those channels, and we'll just kind of do it from there. I don't know why it's not showing like that. I'm going to have to pull out some of the stops, I'm going to have to pull some of the stops out. But, do what you can. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So anyway, cost of living is going up. I hope everybody out there who is doing shit, it starts to do more shit, and they do shit smarter, so they can
smarter,
compensate.
not harder.
It is, man. It all goes back
and
to
harder.
Smarter
and harder.
It goes back to what I talked about earlier, which is the problem, product, and process.
P cubed.
If you guys want to learn more about that, you guys obviously can check out the other videos that I put out, and then and then we got a few courses.
Let's get to some fun stuff. So CES is happening as we speak. And there's
CES, the Consumer
dozens
Electronics
of
Show.
Crazy AI devices.
Well, I think what's going on now is
Let's see some stuff.
The stuff that I've seen.
Oh wow, it's being live streamed.
A lot of the stuff. Well, it's ending. It's over now. CES ends at 6, I think. So.
Oh no, it's a
It's got to be a
repeat.
replay. Yeah, I think it ends at 6.
Oh, CNET, I guess, does a whole show.
So the thing about it,
I'm scrubbing through and I'm not seeing very many products.
No, I sent you the. So okay, so the thing about CES, I sent you a few things. You can look at the. Hakeem, you can look at it. That I sent you that we could talk about on in particular that I thought were fucking ridiculous.
Here we go.
So CES, I've been going to fucking CES, no joke, dude, about 20 years. So essentially been going to CES for 20 years. And even though it's hold on a second, stop this.
Oh wait,
stop.
this?
No, that's one of the videos for a product that's fucking ridiculous. So the thing is that some of this stuff is really cool. I said first year I saw 3D printers. I saw a roll up LCD panel. Like it was just like literally you can roll it up and roll it out. I've seen some paint that can be electrically charged. There's like a lot of cool shit that comes to CES. A lot of it's like experimental. And there's other things that are just like you look at it and you're like, who the fuck dumped money into this? What is this shit? Like I don't understand.
Let's play a game.
And people don't understand that like technology is awesome, but just some things just like don't need to be enhanced. Like how it's just like fucking weirdness, man. And I just don't understand how people buy it. And it's funny because when I used to do the product reviews in the news, right? And I used to go and I'd be like, oh, yeah, what's so interesting about it? And they're like, oh yeah, well this thing does, it's a hat. I actually had it somewhere. I think I threw it out. It was like before VR, it was like a baseball cap and it just had a hat. It was a long brim hat, almost like a pelican and like a pelican nose. And it had like this glass like over it. And it was like, she's like, oh yeah, you can see far away with it. I'm just like, so it's a hat with an attachment of like a bifocal, like a magnifying glass. I'm like, why don't you just use binoculars? Well, that's just not attached to your hat. I'm just like, well, who gives a shit? Like, I don't want to walk around with this fucking weird thing on my head.
You know what it's called?
Oh man, I forgot what it was.
Wait, HatNet?
What is it?
HatNet project?
It was like a hat. It was a baseball cap. It was a baseball cap with a magnifying glass in front of it. And then he's like, oh, well, we can use it with like smartphones now too. And it was when first like the iPhone 3G came out. And it was just fucking weird.
Does any of these ring a bell?
Dude, it was like really long, like flip. It was like, yeah, it was like that, like the flip focal clip on. It was kind of like that one, but it was built into the top. and it was built into the brim, but it came out like a pelican, so it kind of like gave you like this darker like
right.
like
So
thing.
you like looked like a
Like,
damn.
It was just fucking weird, and it's like they're really excited, and I have to like go around and ask these people what their fucking things are, and I just wanted to, a part of me wanted to go up to them and be like, "Are you shitting me?" I just wanted to tell him like, "Are you for?"
This must have been
like,
years ago.
This
like
was
a long time
yeah,
ago.
this was probably like 11 years ago. Probably like 11 years ago. But yeah, no, dude, like I threw this thing out. It was like disgusting. I'm like, I had dust on it and shit. So I was like, oh, but no one would have believed me if I'd seen it like in real life. Like, but I've seen the craziest shit. And so CES comes out with some really cool stuff, and then there's like fucking things that I just don't even understand why they exist. And obviously there's a lot.
So let's go through some stuff. Let's play a little game here.
So the big winners is that new thing that Mophie.
Wait, what is this? First of all,
that's just the Bluetooth. That's just there's some Bluetooth shit. So the Mophie power station, it's just like a more power. It's like, oh, okay, it has USB ports, AC, blah blah blah. More Chromebooks, more, so I would say every 4 to 5 years, a little bit more innovation that goes on.
Yeah, these are.
And then just they kind of like just build up on top of what's going on now. It's just like Sennheiser headphones. It's
pretty standard
it's
improvements.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. And then there's this thing, right? The Alienware. This is basically just a fucking Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That's just
exactly.
It's like it's a PC
that.
though, so you can run anything on it. So it's a Nintendo Switch. So I mean,
a retrofitted laptop, tablet with controllers on the side.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it looks cool, but it's probably not that.
So realistically,
innovative.
Every 5 years is like a big innovation jump. But anything before that, it's just kind of like the same nonsense that's like thrown out there. And it's just like, can we make it better? Can we make it better? Can we make it better? Can we make it better?
Of course, TVs.
So that one product. So I want to show you like stupid shit. So this is some stupid shit right here.
What's a lifestyle TV?
It's when
I know OLED was
Stream
a thing.
Life.
So
it's when you stream your life all day, every day. Stream life.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
So it's like
Stream.
Lifestyle TVs.
So
you could just roll it up in your backpack like a wallpaper.
So I wanted to show you the one on there, the video. So keep going down.
Whoa.
Smart grilling. I don't know, man. That's the fun of grilling. It's like I don't want to like walk
Just
walk
add
away.
smart to anything device.
Well, it's just stupid.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's not so smart. So let me show you the not so smart thing. Scroll down. I think it's on this page. I'm pretty sure. It's just
TV.
No, it's not. Oh, go to that. Okay, you know what? Just go there. So this is a device. So let me tell you a little bit about this device. Hold on. Stop playing it for a second. Stop playing it. So a little bit about this device is that it's essentially tells you.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Great. So it tells you what your dog is thinking. That's the idea. It's like, oh, the dog's happy. Oh, dog's sad. Dog's excited. And then basically all it does is fucking measure the heart rate. So my dog, when it's tripping out and it's like arguing, it's like barking at another dog, it's gonna tell me it's wearing this thing. It's like, its heart rate up. It's not happy. No shit, it's not happy. It's fucking barking at the other dog. It's tripping the fuck out. Why do I need a doohickey on this dog's like back that cost me like $200 to tell me that the dog's pissed off? It's like
if you frame it that way, it sounds kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
But if you frame it in a way that monitors heart rate, vital signs like a watch does, like that's actually useful information.
For what?
To know what if your pet has a elevated heart rate, maybe he's dealing with a condition, etc. Like that could be an interesting.
Let's get this straight. So your dog's got an elevated heart rate. He's upset at the dog. He starts to pass out. What do you do? Okay, so I'm gonna make this like one of those books, like those choose your own adventure books. Here, we're gonna do.
You don't want to
your
wait.
Dog's heart rate is elevated.
You don't want to wait that long.
Hold on a second. Can you? This is a story. We have three options, right? This is like choose your own adventure. Your dog's heart rate is up. It's elevated and upset. It doesn't know what to do and it's barking. What do you do? Option A. Do you bark with the dog at the opposing dog to make the dog feel comfortable. B, your dog passes out and you give it mouth to mouth. Or C, you look at the monitor, feel bad, and continue forward.
It's bad enough you take him to the hospital.
That's not an option. That's not an option. There's no animal hospital close enough to you. Your dog will die. You have only three options to choose from. Three life options.
An active watch. Like, what's the difference between that and monitoring your dog's,
well, first of all,
your dog's heart rate or whatever?
Well, first of all, a human heart rate, and even if you die, that's the other thing too about like the smart steps and the watches and all this shit. If you have a heart attack, I don't care if you have the watch on or not. You're gonna fucking die. That's it. You're dead.
You can
still what? What can you do?
You can be conscious of it and do things to help improve it. Also, there's this cool.
You should probably try listening to your body.
It tells you like whether you're stressed or not. And sometimes I like don't even realize that I'm stressed. So I'm like, all right, how stressed am I? And then it walks me through this breathing exercise where it like, 5 seconds.
I'm stressed just thinking about it.
5 seconds out. It's actually quite helpful. Like the times that I like don't realize how stressed I am, I actually take advantage of it. And
you don't realize you're stressed?
Sometimes so much is going on.
But you need a machine to tell you that.
Well, the level of stress is
stress is healthy for you as a human being. Like you need stress. You can't just live like this lethargic life of stressless nonsense because nothing will all just be a bunch of like fat things just slopping around, but like no stress. I mean, like it'd be like a jellyfish. I think even jellyfish has stress. Well, I know it's not your point. What I'm trying to say is that there's certain things that you cannot prevent. Technology cannot prevent certain things from happening. Now, if you start to have like a heart attack, and let's say for an older person, I can totally get it. Like, and let's say it's connected to like a life alert service, and it says, hey, this person's having a heart attack. Maybe you can get there in time. A hospital, what's it called? The ambulance can be dispatched, and you can get there in time, and then that'd be kind of cool. Yep. But I don't see where
measure my stress
you
right now.
Physically gonna do it.
I'll tell you how stressed this conversation is making me.
Well, I hope it makes you a little stressed. That way it'll toughen you up a little bit. It'll give you you build a little bit of resistance. Piece of resistance. You know what that's from?
Resistance.
Do you know what the piece of resistance is from? I'll give it I'll give $5 to the first person in the comments that could tell me what that's from. What movie it's from? Right, piece of resistance.
Moderate. All right, let's go. Let's. I think that everyone can benefit.
Let's watch.
Hang on. Let's go through a quick breathing exercise. Ready? In.
I'm not holding it. Holding it's not good.
Out.
I'm not supposed to hold it. I need oxygen, bro. Hold.
Out.
You're never supposed to hold it. Is that what it says on the instructions?
Well, maybe you just do it slowly.
Holding it, you just give yourself you're just like cutting off your oxygen flow, period.
Go slower then. Two more.
Now think of the bushfires. The bush. The actual bush in the fires.
And it pulses when you should do it, so you don't have to look at it. So.
Is that what's going to happen?
I already feel I feel good now.
Is that what's going to happen when she sends you that
my
pic?
My headache's gone. Everything's better.
That pic? Here, why don't you watch the how do you say that word? Inupathy?
Inupathy?
Here it is. All right. Cute dogs.
Damn,
angry dogs. Girls tension. Dog feels the tension. She's communicating to the dog. She wishes she could talk to the dog. She sees dog people.
ASMR.
Oh, there it is. The dog is relaxed. It's being pet, and it's happy. The girl's pensive. the dog
This is
thinking?
a movie.
What is the
Let's
dog
get to the
thinking?
point, man. Like,
The dog is
I don't wanna watch a
interested.
movie.
The dog is interested.
Well, how do you know if it's interested?
Because you can tell by the
Oh.
heart rate.
He could just want to go to the bathroom.
You know, it's horrible that we're using
Right?
technology to just try to gauge like innate things. Like this is supposed to be you having connection with your animal. I shouldn't need that thing to like understand what my dog's doing.
I get what you're saying.
Oh wait,
If he just
this
needs to
girl.
go to
I feel like this
take a
girl should.
shit.
I feel like this girl should have a vest on that tells her because I can't tell. Her look is so indifferent
Right.
and miserable. I can't tell if
Yeah,
she's
it's
like
very,
happy or
very
depressed.
monotone, very resting. X face. I could tell from that dog barking sound that they just took like a sound from
That
like,
dog's happy.
like
How's
a-
that dog
like
happy?
a stock audio sound,
Is she
and
gonna-
they just like copy and pasted it. Can you tell?
Yes,
Like the fucking
totally. Because it bugged out.
yeah.
Feel together, live in a peace.
Wow. They needed 2 minutes to tell me all that.
Languageless. So your dog can now communicate with you effectively through that vest. How do you feel about that? That's CES innovation.
So this was when? That was last year at
No,
CES?
that's today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was it? Yeah. This is a product that was
Comments are turned off. I wonder why.
that was a product. I guess they made the video and they at CES because it was it December 25th, right? So all the companies start putting out their the trailers for shit.
Indubitably.
But look, I feel like she needs the vest. To be honest with you, be like, what is she really thinking? Does she want?
Honestly, yeah.
Does she want to like?
The
kill
dog
me?
has more expression than she does.
Does she want to hurt my? Does she want to poison me with my tea? Does she want to run away to that island? What's going on here? I don't understand.
Oh, this is interesting. Here's what the CS tells us about the rest of 2020. What do you think?
I just think is that the toilet paper robot? Shit.
Like, I feel like there's a theme every year, like AI or
Intelligent
VR or
shithouse paper. 8K, even though we don't even broadcast in 4 already.
smart toilet. I guess smart toiletry is like a big thing.
The actual arrival of 5G.
You remember when the first time that you remember the first time you ever tried a bidet? I do.
Yeah,
have you?
Yeah, it's
It was
phenomenal.
in Japan and it was like
It's phenomenal.
ideal. The seats were warm. The seats in Japan had, or at least the house that I went
But
to,
it's like
had
smart toiletries. It's
had
not actual
like-
toilet.
like
bowl.
a carpeted like toilet seat. It's crazy.
Oh boy.
And,
yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, it's not as impressive. I mean, yeah, they
5G.
Sony announced PS5, Xbox.
How many more
announced-
G's can they go to?
You know, and that's we'll have a different conversation about that because that shit is dangerous as fuck. That is some, the waves
Power
that are
hungry.
the waves that are coming out of these things is like next level.
Oh, did you hear that story about
It's not.
stimulated brain pulses? They have this device. I don't know if it's a CES device, but I think this is like a little while ago, where you wear a little crown on your head, and then based on the location of things that you want to trigger, like for example, if you're exercising and you want your or you're doing a sport, let's say you're doing you're playing tennis and you want like the muscle memory to be able to hit a ball in a precise way that that you can't like return a serve, for example. Like you can practice that. You can stimulate your brain with electricity, and then you can practice it, and you're actually the neurons in your brain are being trained to like being stimulated to fire when you're practicing it. You know what I'm saying? And it like makes you become better at that certain activity in like a shorter amount of time.
Oh, you get shock treatment? Yeah, I got
Yeah.
associated with shock treatment during this haunted house I went to in October. It was just like I got electrocuted 3 times, and I realized that like I don't ever want to sit in a chair that has metal things protruding out of it because I'm gonna get fucking electrocuted. It was horrible.
I think it's interesting technology. Let's say you're studying for a test and you really want to be engaged.
I think
in
more
that.
studies need to be. I think more controlled studies need to be, need to come out for that type of stuff. I don't feel like a lot of these comments, a lot of this like, oh yes, it does this, it does this. Like, where's the study? Where's the control study? I want to go. I want to watch a video.
There are studies. Like, there are scientists like studying all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I know, but like one scientist I've never heard of. I haven't seen it. I haven't read the report. It hasn't been officially launched in any type of journal. People don't really understand like the when there's this information, like, the credible sources. Like, where is it coming from? What does it do? You know, where is it being posted on? Who's it you know, you'd be surprised. A lot of these, I remember like the milk, the whole thing with food, dude. Like, milk does the body good. And, oh yeah, studies show that. Like, okay, well, who did the studies?
Halo Neuro was the name of the product.
Who did these studies? The studies and the whole reports were controlled by the milk industry. And guess what? I had horrible asthma when I was a kid because I drank milk because it did my body good. Can I take that back? Can they make a new campaign? Oh, sorry, we didn't mean it. It's just like, does the body good? Well, only back then. You know? So like, it's just
Here at Halo Neuroscience, we talk a lot
here's
about
another one
neurons.
with 3,500 views.
How do neurons talk to each other?
This probably was at CES.
Neurons talk to each other by firing an action potential,
Yeah,
an electrical signal.
Your whole body's electrical signals.
This takes energy, so you can think of a neuron firing like doing a pull-up. In order to fire, the neuron needs to pull itself all the way up. Neurostimulation with Halo works like an assisted pull-up for your neurons. The electricity provides a little boost to the neuron, so getting to the top of the pull-up is easier. Since stimulation makes it easier for neurons to fire, they can fire at a faster rate. As neurons fire more often, they're also more likely to fire together. And when neurons fire together, they wire together, building stronger and stronger pathways with each repetition. That's how your brain learns anything. And that's why neurostimulation with Halo helps your brain learn faster.
See, like, let me...
It makes sense in my head. Like, why not, you know?
Well, yeah, because this is marketed that way.
You're stimulating those certain paths.
You know, with stimulation
practice
comes, like, but that's external, right? So let's do a test. So internal stimulation, caffeine, right? Caffeine, Adderall. Yeah. There's all types of
all types of a shotgun. Like you're,
but
like,
then,
you know, Adderall, for example, or any type of drug that
stimulates neuron pathways. Now you get an external, but what's the outcome of the external? How much more? What's the percentage of productivity versus not? You know, what is there any, like, just like anything else? If you're always getting a boost from external and then a boost gets taken away, will it actually detract from being able to, like, do things correctly in the
That's
future?
An interesting point.
So there's so many things.
When you're not being stimulated, like, how does that? Does that hold if you're not in that stimulation?
Exactly. Kind of like before, you were stimulated to spend $10. Right?
I mean,
you were stimulated. Your blood was flowing. Your brain's like, oh, I get this reward. I get this visual reward of this nice 20-year-old girl who's trying to put out the forest fires with her own forest.
It made me take action.
Exactly. So we don't know. We don't really know. And just like that seems like a cool concept.
Sex is the best stimulator.
Sex is actually one of the core stimulators. It's like, well, because it's part of reproduction, and we want to. Everybody wants to, like, keep the human race going, right? Who's gonna say, like, anybody who even, like, wants to be on the planet, like, who's not gonna say, like, oh, I like, you know, I don't want to be here. I don't want to, you know, continue to keep this planet going. It's just like an innate thing. Like, people, you know, it's, I don't even want to get into it right now, but people talk about, like, shit, like, oh, I don't judge people by their attractiveness. I just, like, sapiosexual. That's the thing. It's about your brain. No one, like, there's no fucking walking brains. We're not just brains walking around I'm not trying to touch your brain. I don't bump into your brain. Like, it's like whatever's on the outside initially. It's just a kind of a judgment of, like, the survival of the fittest type of shit. And then, like, you process that, and you do those. You do all those decisions, dude. All those decisions are made within microseconds. Like, if you see somebody, a girl, and you're like, oh, she'd be great to mate with. You're not, like, why do you want to, like, why are you sexually stimulated? Because your brain is telling you that you want to procreate with this woman. That maybe she doesn't want anything to do with you, of course, but, like, it's a little different for dudes versus men. And then, like, that's what's going through your head. Right? You're not saying, well, I want to get in touch with your brain, man. I want to massage that brain of yours. Can't wait to, like, take a little sip of your brain.
It's the next level of sexual stimulation.
You know, it's just like come
Avatar,
on, let's be
like,
fucking real about
the
it.
Navi, like, you know.
Yeah, we're not at that point yet. We're not at that point. But anyways,
yeah,
so
we're actually
out of time.
exactly at an hour, so it's a good place to wrap up here. But,
so we're out of time. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you were on mobile and you watched the early part, and we apologize for if you got a notification because we had some like hiccups, and we're still dealing with those hiccups. But
no, we could just pretend that didn't happen.
We didn't happen, but some
happen.
people are gonna come to.
Also, I should mention we did get taken down on Facebook for playing that Ricky Gervais clip. So thanks NBC.
Fuck NBC.
It was like 30 seconds, like less.
But
frustrating.
anyways, we'll make it work. They'll be eventually coming to us. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.
We're gonna sell out.
I'm not gonna sell out. we're gonna make our own. I'm not selling to anybody.
Anyways,
so all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you again haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends the Get It Podcast. Just type it in YouTube, whichever channel comes up. Just type Get It Podcast, all 3 words. I'm David. And you guys have a nice day, all right? And
get it.
Get it. Talk to you guys later.